esophagus? Stop.
Gland.
Oh, dang! Okay,
I wish
so,
it was that good.
if you didn't see that, what else would you look for to tell me where it's going to take you? See skeletal muscle? Sure. What else? What about the mucosa? What's special about the mucosa there? Not the esophagus. What's special about the epithelium of the mucosa?
Oh, it's stratified squamous.
Stratified squamous, absolutely. So that's the only place in the digestive tract, with the exception of the mouth, that we're going to find stratified squamous epithelial tissue. So a couple of things you guys need to look for. You can look for the presence of skeletal muscle. Obviously, it's not going to be labeled when I examine you guys, right? But you should know what skeletal muscle looks like under the microscope. And also you can look for that stratified squamous epithelial tissue. Not all parts of the esophagus are as dense, though, in these esophageal glands. And in fact, in this slide, those don't even look like glands at all, do they? They almost look like lymphatic tissue that you might see in the small intestine, right? But these two things are definite indicators as to where in the digestive tract a section has been taken. If we were in these small intestines, what type of muscle would this be? Smooth. It'd be smooth muscle. And what type of epithelial tissue would you find in the mucosa?
Columnar.
Simple columnar with what type of specialization on the surface of those cells? Microvilli. You'd also find that the mucosa is folded into those fingers. What are those individual fingers called? Villi. Okay, and then you might find many villi folded into one larger finger. What's that structure called? Plicae circularis. Okay. What else? Let's go over the different layers here. So you see smooth muscle here, and you see esophageal glands here, and then you see muscle here. So from the surface of the stratified squamous epithelium all the way down to the smooth muscle, what's this layer called? The mucosa. The mucosa is made up of how many sublayers? Three. So what are those sublayers of the mucosa? Epithelium.
Lamina.
Always got to have a lamina propria whenever we have a layer of epithelial tissue. And then what's that third one?
Mucosa muscularis.
Muscularis mucosa. Okay, so what we've got here, muscularis mucosa, which is always made of smooth muscle. This region here is the lamina propria. And this next region then will be the epithelial layer of that mucosa. Okay, just superficial or more away from the lumen, we're going to have another layer. Okay, that's going to be submucosa. Submucosa is where you're going to find those esophageal glands. So all of this is submucosa. Basically, from muscularis mucosa to muscularis externa is submucosa. Okay, so we always have a layer of muscularis externa, but what changes is that outermost layer. This is esophagus, so what layer of tissue would you expect to see here in the esophagus, the outermost layer? Adventitia, absolutely. What's adventitia made of? Adventitia is not serous membrane. I'm waiting for you guys to tell me. What was the question? What's adventitia made of? Fibrous connective tissue, and you'll see a very thick layer of it. This particular slide, though, has missed that adventitia altogether. If this were elsewhere in the digestive tract, anywhere else in the digestive tract, what would this outermost layer be? Serosa, right? Also known as visceral peritoneum. When that visceral peritoneum extends over the surface of those organs and makes this doubled, layered, almost like very thin cellophane layer that attaches the small intestines to itself, but also attaches the small intestines to the body wall, that's mesentery. Okay, but it's not mesentery as we are looking at it over the surface of the intestines. Okay, it's only mesentery when it kind of loops around, comes together as this double layer serous membrane that holds the intestines together and holds the intestines to the body wall.